Hey, all right, so I'm going to just throw this out there, something to think about. The other day I was watching a YouTube channel, and he was talking about since the 80s, they've had, look, all these government agencies working together about this real ID and working with DARPA and NASA and FBI, CIA, all these, for real identity. But apparently they've had the technology now to take some DNA and they are able to replicate it. And what they're looking for, and when this, what was it, 23andMe or whatever came out to look up your ancestry.com or whatever, you send in they got a DNA kit and they'll tell you like your origins of, where your family or your genetics come from and stuff. I knew that was a scam right from the get. They're looking for something. And understand this. Look, we've been interbred with the seed of Satan. We've been interbred with it. That's why, if you study the Bible, Noah was pure in all his generations, straight from Adam and Eve, from their third son, Seth, boop, 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 right? Not from Cain. And you got to wonder, why not the first son, Cain? Like I said, really study Genesis. You'll get it. Taking it back to the original language, look at the Targum. J.K. does a great job blowing that out of the water. So anyways, we've all been interbred, and there used to be giants in the land. Why do you think we're all over the Middle East? I don't know if you watched L.A. Marzulli on the Giant of Kandahar. If you haven't, watch that. There's multiple witnesses to that he interviewed. There's a couple different witnesses that don't even know each other. And another witness who was stationed over there after that time, shortly after, who also heard about what happened. Look, we're in the middle. I mean, think about it. A soldier that has the genetics of a Nephilim, that, man, huge thing. And if you watch that report, they shot this thing multiple. It was just so big and dense and strong. Look, kind of like the Sasquatch that are out there. If you read some of the reports and things, even back in history, when the Indians had to deal with them, they were like, arrows wouldn't do it. And even there was I'm not going to call it a posse, but it was a regiment, I think, that went after a group of these things that were tormenting a certain town or village. Anyways, you look it up. The information's out there, man. It was written in papers and everything forever. These things, can you imagine a soldier that has that? And look at Putin's speeches, his recent speeches. Google it, Putin's speech on genetically modified soldiers. Think about it. And here's the thing. Most likely, if you take that and you're injected with this DNA that they have the technology to replicate, and it could be inside of something as small as a grain of rice, such as that RFID chip, and it has a strand of this DNA that can self-replicate. Yeah, that'll heal you. I bet it will. I bet it'll heal you. I bet it'll make you feel great. It'll make your body and your flesh feel great and stronger. But it's going to self-replicate and do away with what you are. And he said, you take that mark. If you take that mark, puncture, prick, you're done. But look, when we're born into the flesh, that is the mark. Right there. We're cast out and born into this flesh. But everything in the spiritual is played out in the physical. So they've had this technology since the 80s, but now perhaps it's been perfected. And like I said, that taking a chip, actually, RFID chip, was part of the Obama package. Look it up. It's in there. You can see the paperwork on it. It's part of it. And that was supposed to go into effect for identification. But if you do that, keep in mind, these people are wicked and evil. I mean, look at, just today I'm driving in. There's a guy behind me and I needed to get in the next lane. Here I go with the traffic thing. I lose my cool a little. But I need to get in the next lane, and he's like hanging out on my rear quarter panel a little bit. He's not speeding up or anything. I mean, he's a little bit behind me. So I got to get over. There's about a quarter mile before I got to get over and turn in. So I flip on my signal, and there's enough room I can speed up a little bit and get over. So I do that. You know, didn't cut him off, none of that. But this dude gets right on my butt. And it's like, dude, you weren't, I was watching him to see if he would speed up so I could wait for him to go by and get behind him. But he wasn't. He was just hanging there. So I put on my signal, I sped up and got in front of him. I didn't cut him off at all. But then he wants to ride my butt. Just, you know, point is this. Just think how this world's going to be when all born-again believers are taken out. And especially all those who take the mark. Look, he said in his word, right? He said that time is shortened for the elect's sake, for our own sake, because even we could be deceived. Look, and like I said, when you see people dying on your left and right, people you know, I mean, look at what's going on. This coronavirus is just getting bigger and bigger, right? Or at least what they're talking about. They're using this. People are going to be standing in line to get this mark, to get this vaccine. You don't know what it is. They've been pumping our kids full of crap ever since they've been born. And they're brainwashing us to get it. You know, flu shot every year it's coming out. Oh, there's some big pandemic. You got to get this shot. Meanwhile, they're pumping you full of, what is that, mercury and formaldehyde, just stuff that'll kill you. And with children, unfortunately, it attacks their brain and nervous system and some autisms and everything else, man. Kids that were fine when they were born. Just something to think about. It just crossed my mind because this traffic thing. I mean, what is this world really going to be like when all born again from above believers are removed? And it takes a lot of restraint. You know, I didn't want to flip the guy off or anything like that, but he got right on my butt, man. And then he thought he was going to pull next to me too and give me a evil eye or something. You know, it's like, why, dude? I was waiting on you, bro. And then I even had my signal on. Wouldn't you kind of slow down and let me in? I mean, wouldn't that be a decent thing to do? You know, because I had to turn up there. And, you know, I had about a quarter mile or more before I had to make that turn. But I needed to get over. If I see someone's signal on, oh, I'll let them in. No problem. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. So, God bless you. Love and respect everybody, man. It's going to get worse, and you don't want to be left behind. Like I said, for the elect's sake, time is shortened. Thank God. And I think it's shortened. And I think when they start saying they got a vaccine for this, which I think they're going to let, you know, the panic build and build and build, so people will be clamoring for it. So, there's that. Keep that in mind. All right. Love you. Love and respect everybody. Have a great day. Bye.